Breakfast sets the stage. It anchors your whole day. What you eat for breakfast determines what your blood sugar is going to be the rest of the day. If you're eating the wallpaper off the wall at 4 in the afternoon, which I used to do, beginning my evening meal in front of the refrigerator, that's because breakfast was a bagel and coffee, which is guaranteed to raise your blood sugar way up here and then plummet it down here, and then you're chasing it the rest of the day. And there's no excuse. There are many shakes and bars that you can just grab and go that contain some protein, some fat, some carbohydrate, okay? Now, this is the importance of vegetables. Listen to these studies. These are hardcore medical studies. Eating 5 large carrots a week decreases the risk of stroke by 68%. You don't hear that in the Wall Street Journal, do you? No. Okay. 5 or more fruits and vegetables a day, especially cruciferous ones like broccoli and cauliflower, decrease the risk of stroke by 31%. Drinking 5 cups of tea per day, and that can be green or black, and remember the glasses are big, so a cup is just 8 ounces, that's tiny. So it's easy to do the 5 cups is what I'm saying. Decreases the risk of stroke by 69%. Isn't that amazing? Now, I want you to know about omega-3 fats, like in fatty fish, like salmon. This fish reduces all-cause mortality, like everything. It just decreases the risk of premature death from everything, because omega-3 fats enhance cell membrane function all over the body. They're good for moodiness and so on. Cold water tuna once a week has been shown to slow the heart rate, but speed up the heart's ability to reset itself. So it results in decreased sudden cardiac death, which is one of the major causes of premature death throughout the world. It also enhances the serotonergic nervous system. You've heard of the SSRI drugs, right, that everyone is on? Well, fish oil does the same sort of thing, which you can take as supplements if you don't like fish. There's a 44% reduction in hot flashes with adequate fish oil. Now, another big player that you should know about is vitamin D. Women aren't getting nearly enough. Vitamin D drastically reduces the risk of breast cancer, colon cancer, and osteoporosis, but you need enough. Now, research of the Garland brothers, and these guys are like the red-hot vitamin D researchers of all time, show that the risk of breast cancer falls as vitamin D levels rise. And I want to give you a number to shoot for, and I want you to go to your doctor and get this drawn. Your blood vitamin D levels should be 52 nanograms per milliliter. And if it is, that cuts your risk of breast cancer in half. To get that level, you need at least 1,000 international units of vitamin D per day from sun, from supplements. The RDA is 400 IUs, so it's woefully low, and the average American woman only gets 320 IUs per day. You don't make vitamin D in the north in the winter, so you need to supplement. Salmon or other fatty fish is a really good source. For instance, 3.5 ounces of sockeye salmon has 687 international units of vitamin D. That's a little piece. Easy, very easy. Step 4, this is probably the most important, curb your metabolic stressors. This abdominal weight gain that you get, this sort of spare tire thing, like a little extra ovary, because it does produce estrogen, is actually from eating carbs in the face of too much cortisol and adrenaline in your system. Okay? So stress hormones like cortisol make you want to eat carbs. Have you noticed that when the light goes away and when we have the lack of daylight savings time and the standard time comes back, you're desperate for chocolate? Have you noticed that? It's like, okay, come October, time for brownies. It's because the stress hormones go up and you really are trying to get that serotonin in your brain from the carbohydrates. So you want to just know that if you decrease the stress, you're going to be better off with the carbs. Now, the other thing that happens at midlife, at perimenopause, that makes you want to overeat is a resurfacing of childhood trauma. Remember, this is the pain body coming up. It's not you. And I don't want you to identify with it. And I don't want you to identify with the pain of all women. Oh, my God, how we've suffered. I have all the footnotes for that, though. I mean, I want you to know I've documented it in the books. So if you want some company about why it is you're stressed out and you feel bad about yourself, I can give you the stats, but I don't want you to stay there. Okay, but here's what comes up at midlife for men and women. Family secrets. You go, oh, my God, this happened. He wasn't my real grandfather. This stuff happens. Okay. memories of sexual abuse. You have a strong enough ego container to be able to deal with some of these early childhood things. Physical abuse stuff, addiction stuff, that's what comes up premenstrually and also perimenopausally. Perfectionism, job stress, acute and chronic illness, burnout and overcare, all of this stuff. Now, when I was in this perimenopausal time, I weighed as much as I did when I was at term with my second daughter. Why? Because I was caring for a friend who was chronically ill, and she had tremendous numbers of surgeries, and she was living in my house, and I couldn't do the one thing that de-stresses me beautifully, going out to lunch. I had the empty nest syndrome and the divorce going on, and eat carbs, eat carbs, eat carbs. I knew where every good chocolate brownie was in southern Maine, all right? And once the metabolic stressors got under control, then the weight started to go away. It's on the other side of that hill, ladies. Don't worry about it. All right. So I want to give you 5 guaranteed ways to lose weight. 1, curb your metabolic stressors, which we've talked about. 2, weigh yourself daily. Daily. You got to get on those liquid pounds before they turn into solid pounds. Okay? 3, focus on portion size. Use a smaller plate. That's what they do at expensive spas. You get a tiny little plate. You know, it's a cool plate, but it's little. All right? All right. Wait 20 minutes before taking seconds. Use the time in between to talk, or to read, or to listen to music. And 5, take your serving dishes off the table. This really works. Don't have seconds on it. Make it hard for yourself to get the food, is what I'm saying. Make it hard. All right? All right. Now, step 5 in the whole thing, step 5, exercise. Here are the benefits of exercise. A lifetime of mobility. Would you like to be able to walk when you're 80? You got to exercise. I'm sorry, that's just, unless you're walking like this. And I don't want you in front of me in the airport if you're walking like this. Okay? Okay, I just don't. And you know, my mother's 80, no excuse. She'll blow you right off the ski slope. So it's not about age, I'm not buying it. All right. Exercise increases bone mass because it makes vertical vectors of force on your bone. It brings in calcium and magnesium. It increases muscle mass, so your metabolic rate goes up. It enhances that endothelial function, so you have better circulation. It decreases stress hormones. It increases beta endorphin, natural morphine-like substances in your blood, so you feel better. It decreases your risk of not only breast cancer, but all cancers. And 20 minutes once per week is better than nothing. Don't set a goal you can't keep. Miriam Nelson at Tufts did some wonderful research on weight training. 2 40-minute sessions of weight training per week not only increased women's bone density, it did something I consider really fascinating and far more important. It made women feel as though they could get up and go do it. They go park in parking garages. They drive into strange cities. They just, when you have stronger muscles, it's associated with a change in your brain where I would sit on planes, you know, I do this, and I go, you know, we're in the exit row where they say, can you perform the functions of the person sitting in the exit row? And I look at that window, and I say, this would be so easy. And I'd take this sucker out here, and then I always check, do they want me to put it on the seat, or do I get to fling it out the window? Now, start small, even a little bit of dancing. Do you do dancing around your house? I do a tremendous amount of dancing in my bathroom at night. Sometimes not even wearing any clothes, but it's a lot of exercise. Okay, the goal is 10,000 steps. Gee, I could put that pedometer on at night. Of course, if you don't have a belt. All right, anyway. Step 6. No more dieting. This is a new way of life, okay? You've got to accept your body right now, wherever it is. You're not dieting. You've got to accept yourself unconditionally right now. This is when you stand in front of the mirror, you do my famous exercise. Okay, I'm serious. 30 days of this will change you. Look in the mirror. I accept myself unconditionally right now. The naked version is the PhD version, for those of you who have a little more self-esteem. And then, because you can eat so little food, this is, I'm sorry, but it's true. The amount of food you need to maintain your weight after menopause is much smaller than I would like it to be. So, what I would suggest is eat all of your desserts with groups of friends and have them flaming. Okay? That's what you want to do. All right, when we come back, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about hormone replacement and its alternatives. Thank you.